Today I'm helping these people to get SPSS. So ಒಳಗೆ ಬೇಡ ಕೊಡುವೆ So I'm trying to now give the students this piece of software key to see. Right. copy the spaces to your. Then upwards. Install both are same. We'll get the better one. First, you have to uninstall. If it is not installed, please uninstall. Then let's install. I'll help you. Don't worry. Almost copied. Takes time. Okay, that's great. So that pen drive is okay. මේක උදා තියෙන spaces 26 කියලා model. ඒක උදා setup කියලා තියෙනවා. ඒක පාත් ගන්න මම එන්නේ. මම මේකට දාලා. pen drive එක recognize වෙන්නේ. අපිට ඒක අපිට කියන්න. ඔතෙන් ඒක ගහලා ඒක 26 කියලා ෆෝටෝ එකක් තියෙන ඒක කොපි කරලා පේස්ට් කරගෙන පුතා ආයෙත් ඉන්නේ. ඒක අනිස්ටෝල් කරමු. සම්පූර්ණ අනිස්ටෝල් කරන්න. කොම්පියුටර් එකේ දාලා ඒක කොපි Again. Because we started. This. Again, uninstalled. Okay. Forget the money. Why went very quick after? මොකද ඒක GB වගේ විශාලයි ෆයිල්. Let's keep it. ඒක රීස්ටාර්ට් කරනකොට ඔයා එකේ සෙටප් එක. ඔයා අරගෙන ඊමත් ඒක උඩට එක මේ ලැප්ටොප් එකේ හරි ඔයාගේ TV එකේ හරි ඉතිහාස දාන්න. Then install. That's slow. This is 26K file. I think it is a content of me. Is it up to everyone? Taking default so he can stop. Okay. ඔන්න accept කරගෙන. accept කරගෙන. අවදේ පාඩම් තරගෙත් එකේ යහනනොයි very परीक्षणे करला බලන්නකො මොකද උන්ට කියන්නේ අවද අපි ගාගෙන ඉන්නේ මගෙන් පොත් අපි අද ඒක රිසෝල්ව් කරගෙන ෆුල් ඉන්ස්ටෝල් කරගෙන නැත්නම් ඉදිරියට යන්න බැහැ don't worry අපි ඉස්ලා we අරුදාට ඉතින් චුට්ටක් බලන් ඉන්න එනවා. ඒසි දැන්. කියනවා සර් මේ ඒසි මැෂින් එක මොකේ කියලා දෙන්නත්. කොහොමද දැන් සීතල. නෑ. ඉතින් ආයෙත් විතර දාන්න. මේ ප්‍රොජෙක්ට් එක කරලා නෑ. අරකේ කන්නේ. ඉනෝ. ඒ මොන්නේ එක පුතා දාට කාස්කෝ කරන්නේ නෑ තියෙන අවුරුද්දයි අනිශ්චය කරනවා ඔය try කරත්තේ එක මැෂින් එකේ දෙකම තියෙන්නත් පුළුවන් අම්මට හරියයි බලපොර try එකක් තියෙනවා Okay, good. Thank you. So you have got four now experience up and running. So congratulations. Right. And so now we go to the files that we had. Right. So 20 pieces. So now let's little bit revise what we had discussed up to now. So you can download all these files from the LMS. So let's little bit discuss what's there. So I'm opening the PowerPoint file. So what we discussed up to now. So these what we discussed up to now. Let me do a small revision. Okay. So this is package-based data analysis, and we are discussing about SPSS, right? And here we'll be discussing all these things in time to come, which we already started discussing. And we understood that these are the statistical packages that are available. SPSS stands for Statistical Package for Social Sciences. So it's you and I, that we all are social scientists. So that's the package tailored for our purpose. But there are other packages, but we use SPSS as well, because it's the most convenient package to use. Out of all packages, this is the package that's easy to use. That's why we use this package. Right? So we discussed that as well. And what SPSS is a statistical analysis package. It's a powerful one indeed, and it has graphical interface. Not like R. R is graphical interface. So that's a problem indeed. Then how can you enter into data into SPSS? Already we discussed. how to enter data into spaces. Last time, even I taught you how to do to create a data set in space. Today, I'm going to go forward and I'm going to teach you how to import data from Excel to a space. Excel के data में data देना और वो import करने के लिए आपको क्या है? I'll be teaching. So we'll see how to do that. So you can. Last time we created this data set. So we will understand these things as well. So you can see in the spaces we have the data enter window, which has two sub windows, variable view and the data. So if you are to create a data set now, let's say you are going to create this data set. What's your steps? What are your steps? You will go to which view? First go to the what view? Data view is the variable. You go to the variable and create a data set by give the variable properties. And then after that part, go to the data view and give the data. Now you have to do it, right? Next week I'm going to give you exercises, almost exercise for your body session. Okay, it's good for your mind, in fact. So we'll be discussing that how. So last time, with you I created this data set, right? Now you have to do it again, and I'm going to give you an exercise. And last time also we discussed what's the difference between zero data, missing data, and blank data. Did we? Yes, we discussed about that. So this time I'll give you a small exercise for that. So in the exercise 5. And next week we'll see you exercise 7. Don't worry. And then here, how many variables are there? Last time we discussed. Variables here. How many variables are there? Eight variables are there, right? There are 8 variables. How many observations are there? How many cases observations are there? 5 cases are there. And also we understood that rather than writing male and female, we could do what? We could give what? A code. Like we can give male, female number 1, female number 2. Matter status, we can say married 1, married 2. We can give different numbers which we call as code. A Likert scale also it's 1 to 5. Highly disagreed, highly agree, right? Highly satisfied, highly satisfied, highly satisfied. Likewise, we can do Likert scale as. So we discussed all these things last time. So we want, and also there are variable types. Now the name variable is what type? What's the type in a species that we use? This is called what? The string type. Name is string type. Age is what? Numeric number. Number type or numeric type. Gender again it's number is. Then date. Date of the server is what type? Date type. String, numeric, date are the most commonly used types in a species. Although there are several types of data that you can put in place. And this is where I'm teaching you the difference between what? Missing data, blank data, and zero data. What's missing data? You are supposed to give an answer, but you are not given an answer. That's called missing data. Now, for example, what's your age? Can you leave it blank? Can you leave it blank? You can't. You have to give a number. If you had left a blank, if you have not answered the question you are supposed to answer, then it becomes you are not answered. Follow-up question. Now, if you ask a gender, can you leave it blank? You have to tell you are a male or female, isn't it? So if you are not answered, then it becomes what? Missing data. So we discussed that as well. And but on the other hand, now the person is not married, and then after go to question number 4, you leave this blank. That's called what? Blank. Not tapping. But on the other hand, this person is married but not yet having kids. Now, no, you have got zero. So that's the difference between missing, blank, and zero. So we discussed those things as well. And naming rules, I told you that can we duplicate names? This case is duplicate name, number duplicate name, right? And the name could be how much characters long? How many characters long? 64 characters, right? Can you have spaces? The name of the variables. No, you can't have spaces. Can you start with a number, a variable name? You can't. Likewise, we discussed all the name includes, and also there are certain reserved verbs like what? These are some reserved verbs. All A, B, by all are in caps. You cannot use these terms because those are reserved words for program. So we discussed this as well, no duplicates, and then the variable types. Yes, although there are several types of variables, I told you that we are going to use what? Mainly what? Numeric, string, and date types, which we used in our example. So missing data. So to specify missing data, we do what? We use the term, we use the number what? 999 to specify missing data, which we did last time. So that's where I'm telling that I think the recording is also there. So recording is here on it. So please watch that recording and do it again. So then it will go to your minds. If not, you are will be blank. The level of measurements, we know there are 4 levels of measurement, but in SPSS, how many levels of measurement is there? What's the level of measurement in SPSS? You have what? What's the nominal level? Then you have what? You have ordinal and you have scale. Likewise, 3 levels. But in fact, here you can see there are 4 levels. So they have taken the interval level and the ratio level and call it the scale level. Right. Today, let's try to understand how to import data from Excel to SPSS. So please take down importing data. So please take down importing data. Importing data. Importing data from Microsoft Excel. Importing data from Microsoft Excel. From Microsoft Excel. You can try it. Microsoft Excel to SPSS. To SPSS. Importing data from Microsoft Excel to SPSS. So let's see how to import data from Excel to SPSS. Itana data jantamatti in Excel vela කොහොමද මේ data ගන්න? SPSS. Let's see how to do that. First of all, let's go to the place where you have downloaded the files. From okay, now in your downloaded folder, right, in that from the LMS, you should see that there are two files. Session 1, Excel dataset correct, and session 1, Excel dataset incorrect. 2 Excel files. Did you locate that? And they come to LMS again. LMS again to download. From the LMS, please go and download Excel file correct and Excel file incorrect. Let me show you where that. Let's go to your LMS. So let's see. Let's go to LMS and I'll show you the location where you can get these files. So here you can see underneath 1, you have session 1 Excel dataset correct. and you have also session 1 Excel set it's incorrect. I will look at that. You know, in fact, suggest you when you have time, download all. And you can be using that for few exercises as well. Right. Okay. When they come Excel file download. Session 1. They come. Correct, incorrect. So download it. And once you have downloaded, open the incorrect file. Download correct was the incorrect file you open. Open that file. Right. Now let's try to understand what this file is all about. Now this is about patient data. Now you can see here the top row, you have AA, BB, CC, DD, E, those are the patient names. Right? AD patient name, the top, in fact, on the second row, double A, double B, double C, double D, those are all AA, BB are who? Patients, names. Right? And you can see the first set is who are admitted on Thursday. The second set is admitted on Wednesday. So, two set of patients, right, which were admitted on 2 days. And then you can see here the other rows are for the variables. Right? What are the variables? First reading diastolic blood pressure, second reading diastolic blood pressure, those are different blood pressures. And then you have the third reading, likewise, the information. Now, this is a typical file that you will see in Excel. But can you import this file shift pieces? You can't. You should not. It's the wrong format. You have to correct. You should correct the format before you import into SPS. You have value format here. What are the errors? I'm going to then I'll show you the correct file as well. To save your time, I have given the correct file as the next file that you say, well, session 1, Excel, date set correct. That's the next one. I'll come to that later. The first error is that always, the variable names should be as follows. Variable names in on column, columns, headings in the. So these should be columns and the observation should be as rows. Here are the number. Row एक column करने के column का row एक करने के क्या number? Transpose. We have to transpose the data. Always keep in mind, right? The heading should be the first row. First row is the headings and number. Variable names, not the observations. Here you can see the observations. And here to the count Thursday, Friday. So those are not correct. Something is wrong with it. And there are several other errors as well. You can see there is a blank column in the middle. This thing was shut down. I made sure it's okay. So you can see there is a blank column in the middle. Also, the 9th row is blank. Those are not accepted. Blank rows, thin back. Import करना है. So it has to, you cannot have any blank rows, blank columns. And also see how things have been written. The SQL here it is Y is all simple. Then here it's Y is all capital. Is it acceptable? No. It has to be written in a consistent way. Okay, we need clear. Here, what 0 and 1 or 1 and 2. Yes, 1, 2, no, something like that. And what about the variable names? Are the variable names okay? Variable names are it. Whether the first variable starts with a number, is it acceptable? No. And also there are spaces within the variable. All are not acceptable. So first thing what you have to do is you have to correct all these things before you import the data into SPSS. SPSS is the import karana. So that's what we call, you have to structure the data. That's step number one. Right. So that's why I have this incorrect file to show you how you should not have the file. Then now let me show you the other file is where I have corrected all these mistakes. Can you see that? So you can close this file. Now go to the next file. Okay, the next file is session 1, Excel dataset correct. Here, session 1, Excel dataset correct. I am opening that file. Take open करा. Take open करा. हमारा show प्रश्न is do level. Now you can see here the first row is what? Variable name. Is there any blank row on top? Blank row up there? It was a blank columns there. And see. So the subjects are the rows, no worries. And you have the even the day 1 is Thursday, day 2 is Friday. You have given a number. Now also you can see yes has been written in the same way, no has been written in the same way. And you can also see reading 1, it was earlier it was 1 reading, but now it's reading 1. Is it okay? Yes, it's okay. So likewise, step number 1 is what? Before you import data from Excel to SPSS, what you need to do? You have to structure the data set properly. Data set is structure again. Import before you import, structure the data set according to. Okay, that's good. Structure the data set properly. Properly structure the data set. So that's step number 1. Right. Following step import data set structure data set structure import import. Step number 2, you have closed the Excel file. Import there is step close you have to close the Excel file. Open import right. So shall I close it? Yes, we'll close. Start closing the Excel file. And then what we shall do is we'll import. We'll try to import. So step number 3, open a fresh SPSS session. Step number 3, open a fresh SPSS session. Maybe step 3. So we have done the first step, structure the Microsoft Excel file properly. Then number 2, close the Microsoft Excel file. This step number 3, open a fresh SPSS session. Okay, while I will be miswriting slide number 90. So how to open SPSS session? You will go here and you will type SPSS. Fresh the earlier ones you will just ignore. Yes, it's very fast. So I can see here the SPSS, yes, SPSS 26 or 23, never mind. So I'm going to just click on SPSS 26. You have 23, that's perfectly okay. Open a fresh SPSS session. So in my case, it's still open. Okay, what you need to do once it appears, close it. You can do that. So please close that when you see that. And now you have a fresh SPS session. Now what you need to do is you have to follow these steps to open that Excel file. Make a fresh SPS Excel file structure. Now what you can do is you can go to File. Then you can go to Open. And you can go to Data. File, Open, Data. Go to File, Open, Data. Click on Data and then wait. The speed right. Then go to the location where you have the Excel files. It is in a download folder, go to there. So I'm going to go to see, in my case, it's in Srilanka folder. And then it's in this one and SPS. But if you go to that folder, you cannot see in Excel file. Can you see that? You can't. Why? Because here, what's being selected is .sa. You can see the file type is what? .sa. Please select Excel. Right? Again, Excel here, model. So change it to Excel. Now in my case, it's still stuck, so I'm unable to change. So let's wait for a while. Now change here. Method change karana when make it Excel. Location is Excel file here location Excel here method data type change karo. Can you see that? It was the session 1 Excel dataset correct. Then choose session 1 Excel dataset correct. Don't choose the incorrect one. Incorrect choose correct one. Correct here choose. Session 1 Excel dataset correct. Now the Excel is there and you are choosing this. Now press O. Correct right? Choose the correct data file and press O. Is it more the same? Our take a meeting never over in take a first and then eager Aragena make an anchor. You press open. So I got thank the number. They're going to make a ticker on like the video. Now it comes like that. In your case, it might not be a way there. So make sure you take this. Read variable names on the first row of the data. 23 you have to row 1 එකේ තිබුණු මොකක්ද? variable names ටික. එයා ඒක සලකනවා data කියලා. ඒක ටික කරගෙන වන්ද ටික එක අයින් කරලා පෙන්නන්න මොකක්ද වෙන්නේ කියලා. අයින් කරන්න එපා. So if you remove that, see what happens. It becomes V1, V2, V3 variable names, and that top row thing also is considered as an observation. Case එකක් විදිහට. ඒක නිසා හැමතිස්සෙම මතක තියාගන්න අර ටික එක වැටලා තියෙනවද කියලා බලන්න. What's that thing? That says variable, right? So consider the top row. Right? Read the variable names on the first row of the data. Make sure that's there. And the worksheet, please choose the proper worksheet. Make it a worksheet. A worksheet and one table can mark and it will select automatically the range. The method worksheet. Then Excel file worksheets to not tell us on one mind a worksheet table get well. That is sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. A sheet for sheet the data in a range. The column table in a sheet again. A1 to N12 data people, 80 here. When a sheet take the one, when sheet for very easy. After that, what you have to do is so it's there. Now press OK. Then press OK. You can go here and press OK. Now you can see immediately the data is imported. Name is the name is the label because in Excel we don't have a label. And if you look at the data view, if you go to the data view, all the data is this piece. So you have what? Then after this, what you have to do? Save this file. Then file. Please save this file. So that's the last step. Save the file. So we can save the file. You can go to file and you can go save. And I usually save things in the desktop. You save it in a proper place. Under desktop so important for that, you can save it anywhere that you want. So you can navigate that. In my case, it's the computer is quite very slow today. Okay, so you can even go to folder and I'll say employee data. So patient data. So this is patient data. I'll just get patient data 1 or 2. If you want to give you one name, no problem. What makes sure the type of the file is .sa. SPSS file type. So your name that's appropriate, patient data, and make sure that this .sav is .sav is there. There's the extension for a data file, and now you can press save. So the data file is. Is that clear? Is it difficult? No. That's if the data is already in Excel, this is how you go to import data from Excel to SPSS. It's not difficult at all. It's not difficult at all. Okay. So this is how you import data from what? Excel to SPSS. Excel to SPSS. you want to get export from Excel spaces to Excel again, this is not necessary to do. But now let's see how to do certain calculations. The calculation is very crazy idea. So let's say some crazy idea, right? So let's say in this hospital, they are going to pay a patient based on the reading one of blood pressure. The hospital the patients are here reading one account. So how much A you would get? Here given the A together 6,700. But on the other hand, EB will be getting how much? 8,600. Just I'm going to show you how to do calculation. Just a crazy idea, right? Let's say, for an example, you can take down a small topic. Performing calculations in space. Performing calculations in space. Performing calculations in space. Performing calculations in space. Let's say, suppose 100 rupee payment, 100 rupee payment, 100 rupee payment is done based on the blood pressure reading one, based on the blood pressure reading one. Right. Come on. Calculate a new variable, called payment part. Payment one के लागू variable है calculate करने formula blood pressure बढ़ने का reading बढ़ने का वही करने की है T. Correct. Have you do that? Now write down how to do the computation. Okay, just time to teach you how to do computation. You can do numerous computations, but I will just show you how to do a multiplication. Right. So let's see how to do it. Very simple. We'll go to this take down transfer. Earlier, go to transfer. Go to transfer. Then go to compute query. So compute query. Transform for each other compute query. Write down compute query. And then in the target variable, we have to give the new variable name. Let's call it payment one. Payment one. Without any space, just type payment one. Space the just type payment one. So how are you going to calculate this? So to do this, you have to take reading one. We don't enter the reading one. Reading one. Put that all under numeric expression. Reading one. Reading. So I just choose this and I put this with this arrow. I just put it all. Then multiplication sign. That's the asterisk mark. Okay. This is the multiplication sign. Then type 100. Reading 1, multiplication size strict. Here I'm using only multiplication, but you can see there are a lot of other things that you can use. Division, subtraction, like us, there are a lot of things. Here I'm using multiplication only for explanatory purpose. So reading 1 into 100. Now press OK. Is it okay? Now see what has happened. In the output window, it says that the execution is done. So reading 1, payment 1 equals reading 1 into 100, and it's executed. Now if you go to the data file, you can see there's a new variable called payment 1. And if you go to the data view, you can see here 6,700, 8,600. Likewise, the calculations are. Yeah. And see that. That's how the. But remember in Excel, if you don't do this, you can just demonstrate. If you select, if you make this 68, what should be there? Payment 1. EFA not. 6,800, is it? But here it doesn't change automatically. Make automatically change it. So you have to recalculate if you want to do, if you have made any changes, you have to perform recalculation. The Excel again, we have auto venas make calculate for but if you really want to change it, then what you need to do is you don't need to do this, but just I'm demonstrating. Change make a 68 karla. With the 68 current on there. It was a command like this. Transform compute variable. So leave payment 1 as it is and say okay. So it will say that the variable is already there. Do you want to change it? Say yes. It was executed. Now see what has happened. Here it becomes 6,000. It's updated. So you have to rerun that command. A command I go. Understood? So this is how you would do a computation. Other than, let's say for an example, you are going to give an additional bonus to patients who were admitted on Friday. Additional bonus they see. How to do that? It's called conditional calculation. Performing. This Okay, no problem. You can prepare any time. You are always welcome to my lecture. You don't even to get registered, and if you are interested in spaces, yeah. This confusion still in 2 words. Yes. Don't worry. You go to both, and you can make a decision. But my suggestion is, if you are going to start from the general degree, that's my suggestion. Because why I'm doing that? I'm teaching this subject, so I'm not supposed to tell them, but again in good faith. I don't have any interest because I'm not going to lose anything. It's up to you. So therefore, please do come, have a nice time here, and you can enlighten yourself. And if you want, you can continue, or if not, even if you have taken that subject, and if you have time, and if you want to study spaces, you come to this. You don't need to get even registered. You're almost welcome. That door is always open for my students. Okay, no problem. So I'm just teaching them how to. We just completed, just to give a brief what we did up to now. We understood what SPSS is and how to import data into SPSS to this system. So we understood how to import data into SPSS, and now we are doing some computations. Now we did a small computation, and now these are patients. These are patients AA, BB, CC, DD. This is their blood pressure reading. And in this hospital, right, the previous thing happens that these patients are paid money for their blood pressure. This patient will demonstrate how to make computation. So just we demonstrated that how to make a computation like 68 here into 100 is 6,800 likewise. Now I'm going to teach just we are going to teach you as well as you who just joined us how to make a conditional calculation. Now suppose let's say now these are 2 days are there. Day 1 and day 2. Day 1 is Thursday and day 2 is Friday. It was in the original days. Right? It was in Excel. Now let's say for day 2 people, which is a Friday, they are going to pay an additional bonus of 200. That's what I'm just about to demonstrate. How to do the calculation. How to do the calculation. And if you are interested in what went, the video is there. So you can go through there and you can do it anytime. And if you have any questions, you are very much welcome to ask. Because this week and next week we are going to cover. And then afterwards, it seems that you are going to be joined with another batch. So that's a plan. Yes, yes. That also you have to factor in. They can factor around. It seems that I don't know when they will shift it to today or Friday morning. Sorry, Sunday morning there's a lecture. I don't know whether they are going to take it there. I'm also not clear. I'm also not clear. So we have suspended a batch which was on Sunday morning, and because we started that about 3 or 4 weeks back, and now we are kind of trying to match this both and then both and then to take it together. So that's going to happen. So I think you might need to take that into consideration as well. I don't know when that lecture would be held. Usually it was on Sunday morning. Usually it was Sunday mornings. Now this is on today. So I don't know how it's going to be managed and what kind of arrangement is going to be there. But that's completely online. That's what we did. Sunday morning. So my Sunday lectures are completely online because of obvious reasons the computer labs are not there. So to give the students a chance to use their own laptops, it's done. And here we don't have the facilities as well to plug in 160 computers. Okay.
And this exam is computer
No,
paper based.
Actually, we plan to do it computer based original, but cannot be done. Why? Obvious reasons, there are no desktops.
Okay.
Because we cannot ask the students to bring their laptops. Why? Not that they will copy, not that. We cannot ask it because if something goes wrong with that laptop,
We can't give it away.
we can say, and who will take the responsibility?
Yes.
I don't know. Therefore, we are going to give the output at the exam and ask them to interpret. Okay. So we are going to give the SPSS output, the state output or what are the outputs, and then we are going to ask, okay, coming from the output that
Analytical skills.
analytics. That's it. Not to ask them to do it because it's not possible to do that. Ideally, it could have been the case to ask the students to do the computations and interpret, but it's not possible. It's not possible because obviously we don't have that facility. Someday when we have all the computers, and even if you have the computers, there's a big problem. What's that? What's the problem? SPSS is not. Because there's a policy at CA that they don't install pirated software. Policies are there. So therefore, SPSS is not available, and if you install SPSS in these about 100 machines, it will cost about 20 million per year. Subscription. Very expensive. Very expensive. And we cannot charge that from the students. We cannot charge it. So that's why we give the package that I have a version of the package. So we give that's the correct version. But that is not happy to install that in their computer because of their policy. So that's why we have to do it on paper. That's why. Content. Okay. So now let's see. Now we did just a computation to calculate how to do the computation. Now I'm going to teach you all how to do a conditional calculation. Let's say now this day 1 is Friday, and say Thursday, and day 2 is Friday. And if for the patients who joined on Friday, they are going to be paid an additional 200 rupees as payment. Let's see how to do that computation. So here again, what you'll be doing is to do any computations. I just got them. So you go to transform and you go to compute variable. That's how you compute variables. New variables. Compute variable, and here the earlier computation is there. You took the reading 1 and multiplied by 100. But that's for all patients. 100 rupees are paid to cover up their expenses, maybe in this hospital. So now let's say this is payment 2. Payment 2. So make it payment 2. That's the new variable name that you want to pay. Whatever the variable, if you want to be your name, you can be your whatever message. So payment 2. And now you are multiplying reading 1. This is just for computation purpose. It's just blood pressure reading. Reading 1 by how much? 200 rupees. But the difference is that you pay this 200 only for who? For Friday people. That means day 2 people. So if you just now press OK, then this computation will be done for all patients. Day 1 as well as day 2, Thursday, Friday, both, which is not should be the case. We need only this computation part. Day 2, Friday. So how to specify that? It's very easy. So you will go to if here, if condition. So you can see it. There's if. Where on it? If is there. If is there. And then you can use the second option, include if case. So that's the conditional. You are going to give a condition. If case is what? You can say if day equals what? You can say equal sign, day equals 2. That's it. Simple as that. In Excel, you can do it very easily. But again, here this is how you do it in this place. Right? You say, okay, if day 2 is day is equal to 2, then do this computation. Is that clear? So we got to install SPSS 26 and they are trying to do it. Equals sign equals sign and equal sign right? Then let's press OK. Continue. Press continue. So now what it says is this. Create the variable payment 2 by multiplying reading 1 into 200 if day is equal to what? 2. Then only for day 2 people, they should pay an additional, on Fridays, they should pay an additional 200 rupees. Right. We'll see. And now just press OK. Okay, let's go and see. Now you can see here a new variable has been created. Yes, only Friday people are paid the 200. So what it has done is now you can see this patient was admitted on Friday. So the blood pressure is 86. 86 into 2 is how much? 73,000. So you can see it's a conditional calculation. Here I just give an assumed way, okay, on Friday people they are paid. Likewise, but in your actual cases, you can do any conditional conditions. Understood? Did you all get that? All right. So, in case if you have the practice, you are very much welcome to bring your laptops, install spaces, and I can to do that, and we can get on. it's not difficult. Still, we have not started the analysis part. We are just introducing one. Basically, what's the software and you know how to do certain basic math. But after the break, we'll be doing some analysis, which I will teach. Then we are going to start the descriptive analysis, and next week also we are going to do the remainder, and after that we are going to merge with another batch. Problems I don't know when they are going to have that another batch. Are they going to have the usual Sunday morning, or are they going to bring that to this time? Later, 6 time. What are you talking about? That's what I also have audited. I think the person who was handling scheduling the lectures are also changed. It was Miss Jennifer, and now a new sharp business Sashi, no, Sashi is someone. So even still, it's not. I asked, I also still not get a conclusive answer. What's going to happen? So probably next week also we'll see, and after that we do the merge. So it might be relevant to you to factor that later when we yes, what to do with that. So just check that as well. Right. So this is how you do a conditional format or conditional calculation or conditional calculation. Is that clear? No. Okay. So with that, so those were the things that I want to discuss with you. To import data from to these the steps that we discussed, and how to structure that. Then bonus 1, bonus 2, payment 1, payment 2. Likewise, we can do different things in SPSS. And on the other hand, let me, before we have a small break, let me now teach you how to sort data. Now, for an example, you have reading 1 or anything, right? So let's say if you want to sort in ascending or descending, how to do the sort of an SPSS file. In Excel, it's very simple, but again in SPSS, in Excel, in SPSS, it's more simple. So what we need to do is, if you want to sort based on reading 1, let's say, for an example, reading 1, what you have to do is, you have to just select that column, right? Because just select that column, just click on that column, right? Then in the entire column will be selected, and then right click on column column section of selected on, and then right click on that and select sort ascending or descending. Let's say you want the smallest value on the top, then select ascending. You can see what happens. So it became 21 to 19. So you don't need to select the entire columns, all the columns. Columns select on Excel. You have to select only the relevant. Then it will select all others automatically. Because it's very systematic, not like it's very systematic. So that's how you would sort. Now, on the other hand, if you want to sort the same thing on descending order, how to do that? Again, select the same column which is already selected. Then right click on this and select descending. Sort descending. So now this is the highest two. Very simple process. So all others will be adjusted accordingly. The patient names and everything. Okay, this is now with this actually we have completed session number 1. Session number 1, we understood what's SPSS and why SPSS or other statistical packages and how to create a data set in SPSS. And then even today we understood how to import data from Excel to SPSS. And then some basic manipulations like multiplication, how to multiply, and of course there are a lot of other calculations that you could do, division, subtraction, different even mathematical function, even some statistical averages of the things could be calculated. That's it. Okay. So with that, then we'll complete session 1. And after that, we'll go into session number 2. We are going to teach you descriptive statistics from the beginning. So now we'll be starting what? The statistical concept. That's the most important thing. But I can go to that without teaching you the basics of SPSS. Open data integration. How can we do the descriptive statistics? Okay. So we have completed this, and after the break, what we'll do is we'll go to descriptive statistics. We'll use a different data set and we'll see how to do the descriptive statistics. To describe a sample, we use descriptive statistics. There are different ways that you can perform descriptive statistics. Now, for the people who do research also, you will require that. Like the first step in analyzing data and presenting data is present your data in descriptive statistics. You know that there are 5 chapters in your research report. What are the 5 chapters? Chapter number 1 is what? Introduction. Chapter 2 is the literature. Chapter 3 is your methodology. Chapter 4, analysis and discussion. Chapter 5 is what? Then in chapter 3, you are going to do your analysis. In your chapter 4, you are going to do your analysis. In chapter 4, when you analyze the data, you have to start with what? Descriptive analysis. So that's what I'm going to teach you next. There are different kinds of descriptive analysis that you can do, and I'm going to teach you all. How to perform frequency. Then how to compute the measures of central tendency, dispersion, and distribution, and even location. What are those we are going to discuss? Then finally, how to perform graphical analysis. Then afterwards, you can present your data to your readers. And the readers could understand your sample. But without understanding the sample, can you make inferences? You can't. Can you come into conclusions? You can't. So that's why you need to do descriptive analysis, which I'm going to cover next. And we see how. Okay, shall we have a small break? So now it's 5:05. Shall we meet at 5:25? 5:25. students, so welcome. Now, let's try to see how we could analyze data. Right. For that purpose, please download the 2 files on session 2. You can see there is one file over here. Session 2 employee intention to leave. Session 2 survey for ED. And then there's session 2 descriptive statistics. There are 3 files. So descriptive statistics. Then survey session 2 survey for ED as well as session 2 employee intention to leave. You can go to the LMS and put I can download. 3 files are there. These are 3 files. So now let's see how to perform different kind of analysis. And today I'm going to mainly focus on descriptive analysis. Let's go to descriptive statistics. And probably from next week we can merge those 2 batches. The next week I can learn batch they will merge because I checked what I had done for them also. I have stopped from descriptive statistics. So today we can start with descriptive statistics and then can merge. Right. So descriptive statistics. First of all, we have to understand why do we need to do descriptive statistics. So please write down the topic: descriptive analysis. Descriptive analysis. So please write down descriptive analysis. Please now. Okay, now we have just came into the second session, and here you can see that there are 3 files. There is session 2 for intention leave, session 2 survey for ED, and then session 2 descriptive statistics. So that's what we need to download, and then we are looking. And then now, please take down the topic: descriptive analysis. Descriptive analysis. And first, let's try to understand the purpose of performing descriptive analysis. Why? The name itself says why. To do what? Describe. We perform descriptive statistics, descriptive analysis. What? To describe. So that's what it says. What? To describe it. Now, once we collect data for our research purposes or otherwise, we need to analyze that data. That's correct. But we have to give an idea to the user that this is the sample characteristics. Now, for an example, let's say there was 60% male. We got 100 observations. 60 are males and 40 are females. Let's say, the other way around. Now, these days we have more females. Right? 60 females and 40 males. Then the users need to know that what's our sample composition, isn't it? Then we can use different statistical techniques to describe our sample. Right? Particularly using a frequency analysis, we can say, okay, what's the percentage? So likewise, you can see the main purpose of performing descriptive analysis is to describe the sample. Why? Then the users would know the sample characteristics. They would know the majority are who? Females. The majority are maybe in this age group. Maybe they are employed, unemployed, whether they are married or not. Likewise, you can get a lot of details by this analysis. In performing your research and otherwise, you need to know that. You need to tell them under chapter 4. That's the starting point of chapter number 4. Right. So then what are the kinds of descriptive analysis that you have that you can perform? So these are the kinds. You can perform a frequency analysis. Then you can perform measures of central tendency, dispersion, distribution, And even I teach you something called measures of location. So let's add that as well. It's called the measure of location. Location. So we have measures of location as well, like quartiles. I'll tell what are these. Quartiles and percentiles. Quartiles, percentiles, etc., etc. You can calculate these things, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And then finally, you can perform even a graphical analysis. You can draw histograms, you can draw pie charts, you can use line charts, bar charts, and those kind of things to visually tell about your sample. Right? So we are going to perform all these things using SPSS. Today we'll start with the first analysis, that's called what? Frequency analysis. That's what we are going to start. But before this, you have to understand there are two types of data. One is called categorical data. The other one is continuous data. For example, male and female. What's that? Continuous or category? Categories, isn't it? Two categories are there, males and females. Now we have different religions, right? Right? Different religious groups are there. We have Buddhism, then Islam is there, then we have Catholicism, Christianity, then Hinduism, like we have different religions. What's the period? Is it a continuous variable? Continuous variable means between 2 points it can take any value, like income. Between 10,000 rupees to, let's say, 100,000 or 200,000 rupees, it can take any value. Right? For an example, 50,000, 50 cents. Right? But categorical data is only where you can put things into categories. Like gender. Gender, you can code it as 1 and 2. 1 female and 2 male or something like that. But can there be 1.5? 1.5. You can't have 1.5. Right. So that's where categorical data is just categories. Marital status. Is it categorical or continuous? Well, looking at the behavior, some people, let's say 1 married and 2 maybe unmarried, or maybe 1 unmarried and 2 married. Some people are 1.5. They don't know it, I very don't know. Number of children, yes, it's again not continuous. It's what? It's discrete. You have to give it whole numbers. So what I'm trying to tell is, you have to first understand whether your data is what? Categorical or continuous. Because based on that, your analysis will differ. So please keep in mind the first analysis, frequency analysis, is performed for categorical data or discrete data as well. I'll show you. I'm going to demonstrate all of this. Today we'll be discussing about frequency analysis. So please take down a subtopic under discrete analysis, frequency analysis. Frequency analysis. Frequency analysis. So in the next slide, I have a small note. If the variable is categorical nominal, please perform frequency analysis. So please take down in your notebook, right? If the data is categorical, comma, nominal, categorical, comma, nominal, or discrete, or discrete, or discrete, or discrete, then it is suggested to perform, it is suggested to perform, it is suggested to perform frequency analysis. It is suggested to perform frequency analysis. It is suggested to perform frequency analysis. Right? If the data is categorical, nominal, or discrete, it's suggested to perform what? Frequency analysis. So just keep that in mind. On the other hand, I'll teach you later. If the data is continuous, then I will not perform the measures of central tendency, dispersion, distribution, and location. I'll give a separate note on that when we come to that. So don't worry about that yet. Right. Having this in mind, now let's go to the data. Right. With the downloaded data, there's one session 2. You can see session 2. Survey for ED is there, as well as session 2. Employee intentional leave data set is there. So first we'll use session 2. Employee intentional leave. Now if you go to the LMS, if the file is there. So this is the LMS. You can see session 2. Session 2. You have what? Intentional leave. Session 2. Intentional leave is there. Session 2. Session 2, you can see employee intentional leave file is there. So please open that file. Right, if you have installed SPSS, you can open it. And if you are facing difficulties to install SPSS, please bring your laptop and I will read it today. So you can see this session 2 employee intentional leave is .sav. The extension is SAV. That means what? This one. It's an SPSS data file. So please double click. If you had already installed SPSS into your system, in your laptop, then it should open without any issue. So please double click and open it. And let me know, please, when it opens. So it can, once you install SPSS, so that it can be easily open. Now go to variable view. Now, what are the variables that are there? You have employee ID. Is it employee ID is there, gender is there, age is there, job satisfaction is there, leave, right? Intentional leave, that's what we call leave, intentional leave, whether people are intended leave, which is taken in Likert scale. Then working conditions, smoking, whether you are a smoker or not. Children, how many children do you have? Then salary, it's given the real salary. Now, please tell me what are the categorical variables here you could see. Gender, is it a categorical variable? Yes. Male and female. So two categories. Male, female. Then age, it could be categorical, but here if you go and see the data, under the data view, you will see the real age is written. Not as categories, the real age is expressed. So what's that? Is it category? It's what? No, it's a continuous data. Nominal means put again like change. Categories. You give a name like gender, religious affiliation, district from where you come. Those are all what? Nominal or even categorical. We can even name it as category. But continuous means between 2 points. It could take anywhere. Now, for example, here, age is given, the real age is given. 45 is there, 21 is there, 41, 33, likewise, it could take anywhere. That's called what? Continuous data. Your salary is what? Categorical or continuous? Continuous. Your height, continuous. We can have anywhere. Is it? How about your weight? Is it continuous? Yes, it's continuous. It's continuously changing as well. Right? Continuously changing, the weight is changing. Like temperature. Yes, again, it's continuous. Can have any value. Celsius or Fahrenheit. Likewise, these are continuous data and categorical nominal. You have to understand. How about this part? Let's take by the way, please just remember that security person voting, but I forgot it. How about the smoker variable? Smoker variable. You say whether you are a smoker or not. It's what? It's category. Very good. Child again you ask whether you have a child or not. What? Cutting. How about salary? Salary, you write the real salary. It's continuous. So therefore, first thing what we are doing is we have to distinguish between whether it's a categorical or whether it's what? A continuous. Okay. If it is continuous, then you have to perform the measures of central tendency, dispersion, and distribution. As well as location. Don't worry, I will teach you that probably next week. I don't know. Maybe your time. As this the arrangement will be done. I still don't know how it's going to happen. So probably next week we'll merge. Because, from today we can be, kind of in par. Both batches will be in par. Seems there's 15 C and D. Right, that's the batch that will be merged. Seems for this subject. How about the others? The tax. It's merged, no? It's merged. Okay. Right. So that's the merge. Merger and acquisition. Mergers and acquisition. Yeah. So a lot of mergers and acquisitions become successful and as well as failures. Because we have to understand there are different cultures, different wounds is there, different types of people are there. So mergers and acquisitions we have to be very careful. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Then now let's take down performing frequency analysis. 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 For the gender, smoker, and child variables. And child variables. Child variables. Okay. Also, I think you know the 4 levels of measurement. I think you know the 4 levels of measurement. What are the 4 levels of measurement when it comes to variable? First level is what? The nominal. Right? The nominal. The second level is what? Ordinal. Third level is what? The interval. What's the fourth level? Ratio. There are 4 levels. Right? Likewise, we have to also understand. Now, the first level is what? Nominal. Nominal means what? You can just give a name for that. For example, gender. Gender, you need just a name. Is there an order? What's higher and what's lower? No, you cannot tell. You cannot tell. Okay, males are superior, females are superior, and other genders no. Very discriminatory, and you don't tell it, right? So you can just give names. How about religious affiliation? Again, it's just a label. Right? Those are called nominal labels. Then there is what? Ordinal. You can put that in order, but the distance between the variables are not the same. Now, for an example, if you run a race, I'm just going to take the backboard of the screen. Oh, yes. Now let's take for an example. The first level is nominal. Nominal. Example. Gender. The second level is what? Ordinal. Now, if you run a race, right, let's say this is number one who finished the finish line, number one. Number two might be here. Number three might be here. Right? This person finished, number one finished the race quite quickly. Right? But number two might be a bit closer. But number three might be very distant. Right? That could happen. So here you can, what you can see, the order is there, but the distance between 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, are they the same? No. That's why we can put them in order. That's all. Then we have the third level. What's that? Interval. Interval level. In the interval level, you will understand you have equal intervals. A Likert scale is a good example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One is what usually highly disagree. Let's say highly disagree. Number two is what? Disagree. And neutral. And number four agree. And highly agree. But here was the difference between ordinal and interval. The intervals are quite equal. In the distance between this and this, as well as this and this, as well as this and this, as well as this and this are equal. So that's why you call it interval. But these variables have a big issue. So I think you have heard about temperature variable. In temperature variable, there's a characteristic, right, that I think you have been taught in your coordinate. What's that? The temperature variable has no real zero value. Because if you tell Fahrenheit 0, there's a Celsius value for it. If you tell Celsius value 0, there's a Fahrenheit value for it. So there's no real zero value. So we call it Zulu zero value. Sorry. In interval level variables, that's there. You cannot say zero satisfaction. Zero satisfaction. You cannot tell that although people call zero satisfaction, there might be dissatisfaction, but it's very hard to read zero satisfaction, neither satisfaction, no dissatisfaction. It's quite good. But then you have, therefore, the fourth level. What's the fourth level? The fourth level is what? Ratio level. Ratio level is the highest level of measurement. What's that? Which have a real zero value. Now let's say your bank account says 0. Is it really 0? Yes. If it is indicating 0, that is 0. If the company says 0 income or 0 level, is it 0 income? Yes. So there is a real zero value for this. Therefore, that's why you can calculate ratios for this like ROE and ROA. ROE stands for return on equity, return on assets. So these are the level of measurement. Now, frequency analysis is frequently performed at what levels of variables? Nominal as well as ordinal. Maybe for ordinal, but not for interval as well as ratio. Even for interval also you can perform. But better you should go for what? Measures of central tendency, dispersion and distribution as well as ratio. We'll do that later. But just keep in mind, for nominal level variables as well as ordinal variables, you perform what? A frequency analysis. Now the variables that we choose, what are the variables we choose? Gender variable. What's the other one? Smoker variable as well as child. Child means not the number of children here. We are talking about what? Whether you have a child or not. Now let's try to see how we are going to do a frequency analysis. Right. So please write down performing a frequency analysis. Performing a frequency analysis. Performing a frequency analysis. Using SPS. So let's see how to do it. Now you can take down put small arrows and you can write down. So you go first to analyze while you are being in this pieces. You can go to analyze. Go to analyze. Go to analyze. Then go to descriptive statistics. Go to descriptive statistics. You can put small arrows and write, right? Analyze, descriptive statistics. Then go to frequencies. This is the flow. But put small arrows and write down. Analyze, descriptive statistics, and frequency. Right? You can take analyze, descriptive statistics, and frequencies. This frequencies indeed. And then now all the variables that are going to be listed here in this part, in this side of this box, dialog box. And then you can take whatever the variables that you want to generate frequency analysis. In this case, we told gender, smoker, whether you are a smoker or not, as well as child variables we are going to generate part this the frequency analysis. Shall we do that? So we shall first select the gender variable. Then smoker variable, I'll smoker, as well as do you have children. Right. So just what I did was I use this arrow to put that from here. Right. Gender, smoker, and child variable. Gender, smoker, and child variable. That's it. So then after that, you have to then make sure that this tick is there. You can see that there's a tick over here, which says what? Display frequency tests. Yes, it should be there. Make sure it's there. By default, it's there, but sometimes it might not be there. So make sure that it's there and make sure that it's ticked, right? And then you can press OK. You can see immediately, right, nice frequency tables appear. What are the tables that are there? You can see the first frequency table is on 10. You can see here, males, females, altogether there are 439 employees who have responded to this search. Out of that, 185 are males and 254 are females. Is that clear? Okay. So you can see the percentage is given. The total 439 is 100%. Then out of that, 42.1% is males, and then 57.9 are females. So who is the majority part in this data? Females. So that's an important insight. In this workplace, in this factory, females are the majority. So the managers need to think of giving facilities to female employees as well as for the male employees, but give the priority to female employees. Then it says something called valid percent. I'll teach you that later. The second table, the answer is there, but it will later. Is this clear? So usually then there will be cumulative percentage. That means it takes 42.1 plus 57.9, 100. If you had more categories, it could be adding the running total. That's the running total cumulative percentage. But usually, what we should be interested in is the number, frequency, as well as the valid percentage. By valid percentage. Is this clear? Okay. So you have the categories. Now here there are only two categories, males and females. So 42.1% and 57.9%. So by apparently we see females are having a higher proportion. Then comes whether you are a smoker or not. Here what has happened? Now you can see there's a difference. Now you can see there's a difference between the percent and valid percent. Can see there's a difference. The percent column is 19.4, the valid percent is 19.5. What's the difference? The difference is missing values. In percent column, it has given a percentage for 3 people who had not responded, although they were supposed to respond. Now, if I ask you whether you are a smoker or not, can you be silent? You have to answer that question, isn't it? If I ask what's your gender, can you say, I don't know? There are people who are confused. They might not know what's their gender. That's another story, but again, you have to know what's the gender. Right? What's your age? Can you say, no, I don't know. You can say. So if you're supposed to answer a question, but not have given a response, that's called what? Missing values. That's called missing values. So here you can see 3 employees have not responded. 3 employees have not responded. So it has become missing values. Why? If you ask that question whether you are a smoker or not, you have to answer that. Yes or no. You cannot say, I don't know. If I'm asked whether I am a smoker or not, I will say, I have never smoked in my life. Even in the rest of my life, I don't need to smoke. I was in Japan for 5.5 years. Never smoked. And there was no one, it was only myself, but never touched it. Not alcohol as well. Not even that shitty. Why people drink that shit, but even not that. That was enough. Next to Tokyo, next to Shinjuku, there were we call it wolves. Next to that was the Red City in Shinjuku. Red City where all the things over there, all the vices in fact. And my American friends, Canadian friends were visiting every week over there and getting themselves different kinds of luxuries. But that's all. Never smoke, never drink. I hope to have that policy till I die. But some people, but can you say, if I ask you whether you have smoked or not, can you say, I don't? Yeah. Whether you are smoking, are you smoke or not? Right. I define myself, I am a teetotaler, I never would do that. Why should I? Likewise, you should answer that. You cannot keep it blank. You cannot keep it missing. But here, 3 people have not responded at all. So it has created what? Missing. But you can see under the percentage column, for these 3 people, 0.7% has been allocated. Can you see that? 0.7 is allocated. But for the valid percent column, they have taken only valid responses. Have they considered these 3 people? No. It has taken only 436, 800, 19.5, and 80.5. So if you are going to report this in your research report, in your analysis report, right, what do you need to consider? Valid percent or the percent? Always remember valid percent. Please take down call. Right? The percent column, the percent column, the percent column, the percent column. In the frequency analysis, in the frequency table, the percent column in the frequency table, in the frequency table, takes into consideration missing values. Missing values. Missing values. Full stop. However, come on. The valid percent column the valid percent column only considers valid responses. Valid response. Valid response. Full stop. Therefore, full stop. Therefore, unless there is an extraordinarily large missing values, it is always suggested, to report the data in the valid percent column. Valid percent column. Data in the valid percent column. Is that clear? So unless now, on the other hand, if you have got, let's say, 40-50 missing data, then something is wrong. Then you have to investigate. Why these people did not respond? Maybe your questionnaire was wrong. Maybe there was some data entry error. Maybe when the data was entered, it was not done properly. So you have to check. But unless otherwise, report only what? The valid percentage. Right. How about children? Now, if I'm asked whether I am having a kid or not, whether I am having a child or not, can I leave it blank? No, it's not leave it blank. Right? You are saying yes or no. That's all. Whether I have a kid or not, I should remember that, right? Some people might have forgotten whether they have kids or not. So many kids here and there, and so many relationships where they have forgotten whether they have kids or not. But here, usually you have to answer whether you have child or not. But here, one person has not given the answer. One person has not given an answer. That's why in the percent column, it's 0.2%. 0.2%. So in that case, what's the column that we should report? What's the column that we should report? The valid percent. So in that case, what you can do is you can report 438 and the valid percentage. Right. So that's how you report. Understood? So that's how you interpret, how you perform frequency analysis as well as interpret the data. Is it difficult? SPSS will do the hard stuff, the hard lifting, and you have to only what? Interpret. So it's SPSS difficult, not at all. It's a matter of how you interpret the results. That's it. Okay. Now let's see, how to export the output. This is the output in the output window. Let's see how to export this into Excel, Word, or any other form. So please write down. Exporting the SPSS output. Exporting the SPSS output into Microsoft Excel or Word. Into Microsoft Excel or Word. Let's see how to export data from Microsoft Excel to Word. Right? It's very simple, and because now if you want to take a single table, you can copy and paste. Now, say for example, let's say I want this table only. Then copy and paste it. What you can do is you can right click on this table. So if I want to copy onto this table, you can say okay, copy. You can even go to copy as if that's there. Copy as Excel worksheet or even image or whatever. So I can even use copy. And then go to a Word file and just you can paste it. So I'm going to go now to a Word file. Word. So I'm opening Word and you can just paste it. Let's open a new Word file and I can just paste it. So yes, that is. But other than if you want to export the entire output, right? The content in the entire output, how to do that? I'm going to show you that. So this is where you take only one table and paste it in a different place. But now let me show you how to export the entire output in the output file to Excel, Word, or whatever other form. I suggest exporting the tables into Excel. That's easy to delete unnecessary columns and do different things. So let's see how to do that. So you go to the output, being in the output, go to the output page in Excel, in spaces. Then go to File. So first of all, you have to go to the output window, right, to export the output. Ankaika, number one, go to the output window. Then go to File. Then you can see here. Here export. File. Export. This export. You are going to export it. And the entire contents you are going to export. And then it asks, okay, into what format? Is it Word? Word, RTF, rich. It's rich text format, like RTF, right? That's Word format. Oh, I prefer to export it as what? Excel. So you can select Excel. Let's say Excel 2007 and higher. And you can see there are several other options. Okay. So what do you want to create a workbook? That's what I want. Okay. Want graphics, you can select that way. And just object to export. If you want to select certain items, you can select them and export them only. But I have put it all, so it will all will be exported. And then it will ask, okay, where to export? I can browse and I can put it in my right. Yes, I'm going to put in my desktop. Usual place I put things. And I can give a name. I give here output. Output in Excel. You can give your own name, no problem. You do anything, right? Output in Excel. And you can see the extension is already Excel, right? And you can press save. Right, still is not exported. Now you specify the file name and the location. That's good. That's fine. Everything okay. Then press OK. And of course, if you want to open it after doing that, you can even take this. Open the content after you export. So we can put that tick that as well. Then to open that folder is not, we have to go there and open that. That's a little bit of a headache. So let's tick that and press OK. So it's exporting. You can see it's exporting everything in our tables, notes, commands, everything, and just it open. And just you can see. And let's open it. Let's open that. You can see first the notes are there, right? Which were the commands that we had given, and you can see after that the tables, all the tables are. And if you don't want unnecessary, columns, you can now easily delete them. In Word, you can do that, but I find it very easy to do that in Excel. So the frequency tables are there. So if you don't want the percentage column, you can delete them. Maybe what I usually do is I take this particular file, the table, put it in a different sheet and delete. But I don't
don't want the percentage column. I'm going to delete. I don't want a cumulative percentage column as well. I'll delete. So you have the gender variable, gender of employee. And yes, I don't need this term valid. This, I think it will be 10. Okay, no, sorry, very quick. But unmerge it. And this valid is not required now because all valid data has been taken. This is the table of the gender. Okay. So easily you can do the manipulation, right, in Excel. So that's how you take each table and report it in your thesis. In your research, in your data analysis report, this is how you are going to put it. Okay, so that's how you do a frequency analysis and how you report that in your thesis or data analysis. So you can see the heavy lifting is done by whom? What? Just thesis. The only thing what you have to do is once the output comes, you have to just analyze and report. Easy you can do. Okay. So after that, you write a description. Okay, the majority are females in this company, and likewise you can write a small description. Okay, with that I think that we can safely now in par. You are in par now, and now the merger could take place. So the acquisition, the merger. I think you know the difference between a merger and acquisition. The merger is equal. In acquisition, a large part acquired the other part. So it's a merger. Okay, so with that, then we'll finish for today, right? And next week will be announced. I'll tell the management that we are now in part, whatever that they do. So they will inform that when the next is going to be. Okay, with that, they will finish. Thank you very much. We'll meet next week. Hey, Samara Singapura, thank you. And we have just completed the lecture because we have completed this physics. Thank you for that. So we are going to wait there. Thank you for that. Thank you very much.